Guys, good morning. We're supposed to have really bad storms today. It's like 9 in the morning and it's almost 70 degrees. You guys remember the other day it was 30 or 28, I think. Yeah, it's like crazy. Good morning. We're supposed to have bad weather today, and if it tells you anything, number one, it's almost 70 degrees outside, and it's 9:40 in the morning. Theory says she wants Scooby. Well, come on, let's get Scooby. And not only is it already 70 degrees, it didn't get cold at all last night, and it's 68 in my house this morning. Guys, I didn't turn the heater on. Welcome to the South. All right, so let's sit down and talk about why I am so concerned about the weather all the time. Whenever I was little, like it was right before my 10th birthday, I was actually in a tornado with my grandma. So we were at the grocery store and the whole entire roof got blown off the grocery store. And it was like it was a Winn-Dixie. So I don't know if you're not in the South, you don't probably have a Winn-Dixie, but it's basically like a big name grocery store at that time anyway. Just like, the regular size grocery store. The whole entire roof got blown off. We had to like huddle in the grocery store and at this time, the coolers were shaped different because, it was like a long time ago. But like used to coolers came out and you could kind of get they slanted out, and I remember I was little and I had to get under the side of the cooler, and that's what they were having customers do, which I don't know, that seems like not safe now that I think about it, but I guess that was the safest place from debris hitting you. So I just remember that, and I remember freaking out and being extremely scared, of course, because the freaking roof got ripped off the grocery store. So whenever we got to go home, there were it was like a huge tornado, by the way. It wasn't like one that flattened everything. So it would be like pick and choose, basically. So you might have one place that looked completely not touched, and then another thing would be completely demolished and just sticks and bricks on the floor or on the ground. And then you might have something that's just a little bit ruined, like half the building gone. And then skip another few buildings, and then, it might be bad again. So it was like this all the way home. There were buildings completely gone, no sign of anything ever being there. It would just be flat. And these were actual buildings too. These weren't mobile homes. These were actually a gas station, or it was actually a candy store. They didn't sell gas, but it was a convenience store, I guess. We called it a candy store because I was little, but it was a convenience store. The whole entire thing was just completely gone, completely missing. Anyway, and this happened the whole entire way home that we saw the devastation. Then whenever we got to her house, she had a really big tree. I can't remember what kind of tree it was. It was a huge tree, and it was laying across the driveway. Her whole entire house, it got a lot of damage, but it actually looked structurally okay. But what the tornado did was it basically picked her house up and just did this. It just picked it up and just turned it and put it back down. And that was actually really crazy, of course, and scary, but it was pretty cool because my grandpa was asleep in the house, and I don't know that he slept through it. I don't know, because honestly, I was too little to even comprehend what was going on. I mean, 10 isn't too little, but it's a lot for you to process, so I don't remember, but I feel like he might have been, he either was there sleeping and he got woke up, or whether he slept through it. I can't remember. I want to say he probably got woke up, just because logic says you would get woke up for tornadoes coming through. Yeah, so he didn't get hurt or anything, which was crazy. Her house, there were things broken, of course, because anytime your house gets picked up and turned, you're gonna have stuff that's moved. But her house, it wasn't a mobile home either. It was a actual her house was probably built in the 1920s, an actual, brick and mortar style house and it did that. It just like got picked up and just turned. So the foundation was damaged. There was a lot of work that had to be done. But anyway, all of this to tell you guys, that is why I am like crazy weather person. Like I'm always watching and looking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are we gonna make it? Wow, it's crazy weather. Like I'm always about it. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was probably scarring for me more than I can even comprehend, because going through that at a young age, and like back then too, we didn't have like therapy. Like I think nowadays, like if you're a kid and you had that happen to you, you'd probably get taken to therapy, because you know, people nowadays know like that is probably hard for your kid to process. I don't know. I really don't remember, honestly. This is what I'm telling you guys. Like there's a lot of it I'm sure I've blocked out, but all of this tell you guys, that is why, like the window is right here and I'm like at the window, because that was freaking scary. And I freaked out so bad. This is like my first time that I know for sure I had a panic attack, because I was having a panic attack so bad, as you should be. But my granny actually had to slap me in the face, which she did not do that for meanness, so nobody be like, oh my God, I can't believe your grandma did that. But I was flipping out, and like she was like, you have to get it together. And what's funny is I don't even remember her doing that. I remember her apologizing to me. Still to this day, it's been, how old am I? It's been 28 years. And still, anytime we talk about it, she's like, honey, I'm so sorry I slapped you in the grocery store that time, but I had to calm you down, honey. You were freaking out. I mean, she still says that to this day. It's been 28 years and she still like apologizes. I'm assuming I was freaking out to the point where it was like, you know, upsetting to other people around us too, probably making it worse. And so I don't remember her doing it though, but I just know still to this day, because she was not a slap you type of, she's not, obviously, still, I'm way older now, but you know, she's not that type of woman. But that was my first traumatic experience that I know of, and it was weather related. So that is why the window, guys, I know you know my house layout by now, but that's why we're sitting by the window right now, the big door, and I'm looking, and I keep looking anytime the wind blows. We have moved because Fairby saw a squirrel, and I don't want her barking at a squirrel. So all of that to tell you guys, basically that is why I straight up pay attention to the weather like 24/7, and I feel like it started kind of an obsession. And once again, I think if that had happened to somebody nowadays, I think people would have handled it different, like the adults in the situation. Oh God, and I didn't even tell, this is gonna, all right, I'm gonna tell y'all the rest of this story, which, if my parents watch this, they're gonna be like, that makes us sound bad, but I'm gonna tell y'all anyway, because this is my experience from it. Oh, Fairby has something to say. Y'all knew she was gonna ask that, right? Okay, we'll do tricks. All right, hold on. I gotta tell y'all the rest of the story, but we're gonna do tricks really quick. All right, let's show them what we're working on. Ready? You do side step? Side step. Side step. Side step. Good girl, side step. You're kinda doing it. Okay, side step this way. You're not doing it. Okay, that's okay, sit. All right. Okay, airplane. Good job. Anyways, all right, let me try to tell you guys this story. All right, so tornado hit my grandma's. The whole reason I was at my grandma's is because my parents were gonna go on a vacation. I think they were going to Hawaii or something. All I know is I had been dropped off at my grandma that morning that the tornado hit. And my grandma and I were like, you know, gonna go to the grocery store before it stormed so we could get some stuff, like kid food basically, because you know, grandmas don't have kid food at home. Because we lived in Georgia and she lived in South Carolina. So it was not like I was over there all the time. So that's how soon the tornado hit. Like in my mind, it was like my parents drove off, we went and my grandma got her shoes on and we went to the store. And obviously the timeline, there's a very, very good chance the timeline is skewed just because I was a kid. And it's also been literally almost 30 years ago. So there's a really good chance the timeline's screwed up. Keep in mind, guys, cell phones were, like if you had a cell phone, it would have been a bag phone, which for those of you who are too young, you don't know what that is. I'll see if I can find one to show you on the screen. Anyway, it's like a huge bag of a phone and it's in your car, and like it's probably like $10 a minute. Like you don't just have a phone. So probably by the time that my grandma and I got home, my parents either had just got home. I don't know how my parents even found out that there was a tornado. I don't know if my parents called and couldn't get in touch with us and finally called my aunt, because I feel like this might be what happened, but I don't really know. But all I know is this is where I'm saying my parents are gonna look bad. My parents still went to Hawaii. They didn't even leave till like the next day, I don't think. Like they weren't like leaving me and going to the airport. Like I think they went home and had to fly out the next day. They still went to Hawaii, y'all, and left my ass up there, and we had to stay with my aunt for like, I don't know how long they were gone. I don't remember, but all I know is also my birthday is the beginning of April. So my birthday I spent up there with that. I don't know. I feel like I would have went and got my kid. I don't know. Obviously, that's their business. And anyway, I'm just telling you from my side. I know they knew I was safe though. I do know that they knew that we were not harmed. I know that they knew that we were physically okay and we had a place to stay because my aunt lived down the road and her house wasn't touched. So I do know that they knew that, but it still kind of cracks me up. It's like, y'all really went on to Hawaii and left me? And not even just that, but then I think about like my grandma being left with a 10-year-old to deal with on top of, you know, having to deal with her house doing that. But I just remember us going up to the house, you know, because we couldn't stay at it, obviously. I remember us going back to her house and like picking through stuff and like trees getting cut down because there was tons of trees down, I guess. Like after the initial shock of the one big one, there was a lot of trees down. But I just remember there being a lot of stuff that was just devastation. And I remember also, this is kind of weird, but I remember Red Cross coming through and they had those tins or like the styrofoam plates. This is back a long time ago. They probably don't use styrofoam anymore, but they had styrofoam like plates of food and they would bring it to the people who were working at the houses because it was like a lot, like there was, I think her neighbor's house got completely gone. And I don't remember if anybody died. This is what I'm telling you guys. I blocked out a lot of this. But at the same time, now I'm looking back, I'm like, why were we taking food from Red Cross whenever we had a place to like go? But I guess all their food got damaged, you know, I assume power was out. I don't know. Like I'm telling you guys, I really don't remember a lot of it. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like, whoa, in my brain, like whenever I'm trying to think about it. So anyway, so I think I'm gonna actually put this up maybe today, possibly, so you guys can hear the story. This is where my brain is this morning though. And it's what, 10:10 on, I think it's the 11th. It's Saturday, so I think it's the 11th. This will just be one of the episodes that are out of order, but just to share with you guys because I'm thinking about this right now, especially after just hearing about the devastation that there was from tornadoes already overnight, and then now I know we're up against it potentially today. They said it wasn't going to get as bad in my area today, but I don't trust them. That explains my crazy a little bit with the weather probably. I just remember being in her Buick. She had a black Buick, and I remember being in the car like, you know, because I mean, little kid, you're like that's just like my memory. And I remember being like, Granny, the candy store's gone. I mean, you know, like that's what I remember. I remember stuff being gone and me being like, and I remember also, this is the other thing. This is my first memory of being like stoic. I remember after I flipped out the grocery store, I remember being like, so like, because I was having what we call a hissy fit with good reason. So I definitely think that is something that nowadays you would get therapy for sure. And I also think your parents probably wouldn't go to Hawaii without you after that. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna try to edit this and put it up. We haven't had a shower. We haven't done anything. We hadn't eaten breakfast yet, have we? No, we haven't. We haven't done anything. Fairly burped in my face just now. We haven't done anything. We walked. We went for a walk. And then we picked up the camera and talked to y'all because we love y'all, right? Yes. So anyway, all right, so I'm gonna try to put this up today because I think that would be an interesting, probably not really appropriate story for the day considering what other people have gone through, but it's my story and I want to share. So I'm gonna tell y'all about it. So anyways, we hope you have a good day and I hope that you are safe wherever you are, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.